Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Saturday nights, 8 o'clock is Sumit Peer time. And do we have news for you? Mr. Bilawal Bhutto makes a spectacle of himself at the SCO in Goa. And there is a lot of stuff that has not yet seen the light of day as far as news is concerned. And we're going to share all that with you and then some. Let us welcome Sumit Peer, our guest of the evening. Sumitji, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskaram, sir. Namaskar to all, vanakkam to all, and sadhuvat to all. Thank you very much for the invitation, sir.
Sumitji, Bilawal Bhutto comes to India. First of all, it's a big spectacle. Is he going to come? Is he not going to come? Finally, the army says, ja, ja, beta, ja. And then he goes, and then he comes here and he holds a press conference, keeping out all the Indian journalists. What kind of a nonsense is he trying to do? Anyway, you have much more information about Billo Rani than I can ever think of. Take it away. Give us what really happened. Why do they continue to embarrass themselves like this?
Thank you, sir. First and the most important thing is what we have to understand here is that Pakistanis are untrustable lot. They are buffoons. They can never ever be trusted. And this Bilawal Bhutto Zardari proved one thing. He is there because he's Benazir Bhutto's son and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's grandson. He doesn't have the mettle. He didn't have the mettle of the leader. He didn't have the aura of a leader. He didn't have the stature of a leader. Now, when I used to say on various channels that the experience of Dr. Jaishankar is more than the age of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, he proved me right. He proved me right. Now, sir, look at the bigger scenario. Out of 8 powerful platforms, which is SCO, G20, BRICS, and BRICS and all that, I2U2, India is part of all the 8. Prime Minister Modi is part of all the 8. Amongst the big 4 countries, that is India, Russia, China, and United States of America, India is an exception. This Bhikhari Pakistan is only part of SCO, 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝙀 China. He could have used this SCO platform to talk about the people of Pakistan, to see how the SCO can be used for the benefit of Pakistan. But this Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is again doing the nokri. Nokri in English means that he is a subservient to the establishment of Pakistan. I was baffled when he was talking, I am victim of terrorism. Come on, Bilawal. You don't know who killed your mother? Your mother was killed by Pakistani army. Who hanged your grandfather? Your Nanaji, what we call in Hindi. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, it was the establishment of Pakistan. So are you saying that the establishment of Pakistan is terrorist? Now, this is a very big diplomatic admission. The foreign minister of Pakistan, Sri Sir, is saying the establishment of Pakistan is terrorist. What more can we say? We rest our case. That is the first thing. Then the second thing is that when he was coming and he was just doing this, hello, I have only come here for the SCO. I don't want to have any bilateral. Now, in the SCO forum, which is supposed to be a multilateral forum, which is not supposed to be for bilateral issues, these buffoons do not have understanding of the basic diplomacy. Because you are your father's son, you are your mother's son, your grandfather's grandchild, that's why you are there. You are not competent to be there. So that is what you proved. You lost the opportunity for the people of Pakistan and you made an idiot of yourself. Sorry to use this tough language against you, but that is what I can think of. I don't have a better word for the lack of clarity. Now you are talking of Kashmir. What the hell is you want to do with Kashmir? What does Kashmir want to do with you? You don't have money to feed yourself. You don't have money to buy, zahar, what we call in Hindi, that is poison. What are you going to do with Kashmir? Where is the money? What are you going to do with Kashmir? Now you bought in Kashmir and Dr. Jaishankar whacked you right, left and center. First of all, you got a designation of being the spokesperson of a terrorist country. Second thing, which will go into the archives of history, is when Dr. Jaishankar says the Pakistan's credibility is depleting faster than their forex reserves. I mean, what more diplomatic stuff do you want? Now, third thing which we really whacked you is, what is your business in G20? Beggars are not asked to be there. It is for the developing economies of the world. It is for the economic powerhouses of the world. You are in last 20 countries of the world. What has G20 got to do with you, bhai? There's nothing in G20 for you. And Kashmir is an integral part of our country. And what we have to decide and settle is PoJK. That is what Dr. Jaishankar told you. So who the heck are you to talk about G20 in Kashmir? What is your business there? You send your army 4 times, that got whacked. You send your disposable jihadis. Why do I call them disposable jihadis? Is because when they come within 12 days, 24 to 27 days, we kill them all. Most of them, 90% of them. So these disposable jihadis you said you want to get Kashmir. Sorry, Mr. Bhutto, it's not going to happen for you. And now at the end of the day, then you want to do a press conference. In press conference, you're so scared you only want a PTV mic. There was nothing else except a PTV mic which was there. Are you so scared of Indian media? Are you so scared of Indian journalists? Are you so scared of Indian, press? And incidentally, Sri sir, our press freedom index is lower than Pakistan and Afghanistan, what we were discussing last day. We are so, amateurs that this Pakistani amateur foreign minister is scared of us. And I want to highlight a couple of things which happened. Now, when this Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is here, 5 of our para-SF, that is Indian Special Forces, we lost 5 of our brothers in Rajouri, in an ambush. Now, who did that? The FATT, the same organization which did the Punch one, has claimed the responsibility for that. Sir, see the coincidence. Bilawal is in Goa. Same time, there is an ambush which happens where we lose 5 of our special forces men. It happened last time again in the Kandi forests of, I think, Rajouri. It was 2020. And I was screaming on the TV, where are the Chinooks? Where are the Apaches? Why don't we goddamn bomb them to hell, burn them to hell, then send the special forces? Because last time, again, I lost 5 of my brothers there. It was the same area, same insurgents. Again, there was an ambush, but we ended up eliminating all the terrorists. Now, the terrorist group has taken the responsibility. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was saying, I am a sufferer of terrorism. How come the terrorist groups, when you are in land of India, ambush happens, before you get into your goddamn 98 para model plane, the plane which he flies, a 98 model, it's a vintage plane, by the way. Whenever you get into that plane, the same terrorist group takes the responsibility for the attack. And you say, we have nothing to do with terrorism. We are sufferers of terrorism. How is this a coincidence? When you say you are going to come to India, at the same point of time, within 6 hours, there's the ambush. When you are in India, there is another ambush and we lose 5 of our men. And last time we lose 5 of our men. Is this a coincidence? And you still say you have nothing to do with terrorism? And Pakistan's hands are free? Now, one other thing which is very striking. Sir, I want to bring to your attention and to the attention of all the viewers. Yesterday, sir, when this goddamn Zardari is here yesterday in PoK, there is this Shahzad Ahmad. Shahzad Ahmad is a Pakistan army veteran with a medal called some Jurrat something. He has got a medal. He had participated in Kargil war. Sir, he did a press conference, not in the shadows, not this press release, not Twitter, a formal press conference. He said that we are going to recruit a group which is going to target G20 in Kashmir, and will not let India do the G20 in Kashmir. We'll go to all the schools and all the districts of PoJK and recruit fresh recruits, fresh jihadis. This is done with a press conference. And Bilawal Bhutto Zardari says we have done enough against the terrorism. We have done a lot of activities. A press conference where he is announcing this. Not only that, Pakistan army is going to schools and colleges and trying to radicalize people of PoJK and elsewhere to join these jihadi groups. This is happening. And if you remember, Sri sir, when he was here, what did he say? Ham, and that Urdu, that comical Urdu which that he talks about. Ham iska jawab dengi, and G20 may will see that in English Urdu which he talks about. And in the only character which I can remember when he talks Urdu is we had this movie called 3 Idiots, and we had a character called Chatur. The Chatur, his accent and Bilawal's accent is good, but Chatur was a comedian, and this comedian is a foreign minister of Pakistan. Now he says, he is threatening us, sir. He says, hum jawab denge, we will reply in the right time and everybody will remember. And at that point of time, so see 2 coincidences. He is here, the ambush happens. Terrorist group claims the responsibility. He is here. At the same time in PoK, the Shahzad Ahmad is doing the press conference talking, will not let G20 happen in Kashmir. And Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, if you look at his press bite, which I sent you, he is threatening us that we'll give you a response at the appropriate time. We are not happy with the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. I want to ask him, Kashmir tere baap ka hai kya? Who the heck are you? Where does the Kashmir belong to? What do you want to do with Kashmir? If you by force can come and take it, you are most welcome. Come and do it. But you don't have honesty. Your Bajwa says you don't have fuel to put in your tanks and you want Kashmir. You're begging for $500 billion here and there and you want Kashmir. Now, these are two coincidences which happened yesterday. Now, again, Bilawal Bhutto, Zardari and Pakistan will say, well, nothing to do. So he rightfully got whacked by Dr. Jaishankar when he was told the spokesperson. When he said, what have you got to do with J&K? What J&K is an integral part of India, only POK is the unfinished agenda. Yesterday, I was on a Pakistan media channel and that they're asking me, is this Sumitji your stated policy? I said, Rajnath ji has said, Amit Shah ji has said, Dr. Jaishankar has said, 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪 ji was in UK, he repeated the same. Yes, it is our stated policy. I mean, there is nothing more than we can say. All our top brass is echoing the same tone and tenure. Even the sentences are same. You watch out. Will come and hit your butt at the time and place of our choosing. You watch out. We are going to take PoJK and there's nothing you will do. And I want to bring you to another blunder which he did. So these two coincidences happened when this so-called foreign minister of Pakistan was in Goa. Third thing, which he was sweating. I remember when he left Goa, sir, he was sweating, Shri sir. Yahan pasine aa rahe the. He was sweating here. And I thought this is a 98 model plane, which is a very old plane. The maintenance is not good. The air condition is not working. Possibly they have not serviced it. They don't have money to service it. Some Ahmad Mohammed Bhai must be trying to fix it and trying to run it. But I figured what did go wrong. He gave interview to one of the journalists in India. I don't have a great opinion about the person, but anyway, in that interview, there was one fundamental thing I want to highlight to the world, and I highlighted on a couple of news channels also. Shri sir, he said, when the journalist asked him, what is your position on UNSC resolutions? He said, the journalist told him that you have to vacate GB and POJK. That is the first part of the resolution. Are you talking, when you're talking of UN resolution, are you complying to that? Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, quote unquote, says, yes, I have read the full resolution. Yes, we will comply to the full resolution. Does that mean the foreign minister of Pakistan is saying Pakistan will pull out its forces from POJK and GB? This is foreign minister, so-called foreign minister of Pakistan, who is saying we'll pull out our forces from POJK and GB in a live interview to Indian media. This is world news. This is breaking. This the media should cover. This is what the amateur foreign minister says. When I call him an amateur, when I call him a namuna is a buffoon, basically a clown. That is why I call him. If you see the diplomatic blunders he kept on doing, if he saw the pile of lies which he has been doing, I would still say Dr. Jaishankar has been charitable with the words. And what really, boils my blood, the kind of language he used against our Prime Minister. And then he was even trying to defend, it was not my word, somebody told that, somebody told that. Because I had predicted, Shri sir, this buffoon is only coming here for biryani and free alcohol. By the way, they don't get alcohol in Pakistan. So here, high quality, free alcohol was there, good biryani was there, gawa was there, suntan was there. And in Pakistan, of course, they don't have a 6-star resort. So it was a 6-star resort. And he got a lot of TRP. A lot of people must be clicking his pictures here and there and all. That is why he came here. But as a finance minister, he misread up completely. He lost the SCO opportunity. His links with terror got exposed of the ambush, press conference, and he threatening us happens at the same time. And the master stroke is that foreign minister of Pakistan is saying he will withdraw Pakistan forces from GB and POJK. Now, Mr. Bhutto Zardari, sir, with due respects, when are you going to do that? Can you kindly announce us a date and time? Because in last 75 years, this is a fundamental change in the foreign policy of Pakistan, which answers my premise, which I presumed. US sweating because not the aircon was bad. US sweating because when you will be back, you will get it on your knuckles. Imran Khan was beaten twice by the generals. Sir, I'm not bluffing. He had bruises here, and here. He said, I fell down. Then he was wearing such a big sunglass. And incidentally, when they become Bollywood actors, with due respect to Bollywood actors, when they start wearing sunglasses in the night while having dinner, then you meet somebody has given them a tight one. So now Zardari was sweating, Shri sir, because he knows when he will reach there, somebody is going to get him. That's why he was sweating. Now, the job of the establishment, the job, नौकरी से हम कहते हैं हिंदी में, the subservient attitude of Pakistani establishment is so visible that yesterday I thought he's a young man. He is educated in Oxford and he has lived in London. He lived in Clifton. Incidentally, in Clifton, Clifton, I remember, she said. He has been next door neighbor to 𝙤𝙬𝙤 Ibrahim. Maybe he knows him very well because they live in the same locality. Maybe they even exchange those sevaiyas on Eid, and they come to their place for a drink. They don't drink. Sorry, ruabza. I take back my words. So, in those striptease clubs and high-profile bars of London, they have started serving jaljeera, ruabza, and nimbu sharbat. So they only go for nimbu sharbat there. So don't think it's alcohol. No. It has nothing to do with alcohol. Nothing alcohol.
Toba,
they're very Toba. They're very hardcore Islamists. He missed the opportunity. He got whacked by Dr. Jaishankar. Now he's going to get by establishment by talking this. And he says, my visit to India is successful. Oh my God. Now, could you had a better buffoon as the foreign minister of Pakistan? That is what I'm thinking. And my answer is he's the best. Because for our interest, for the world to see a spectacle and to make a comedy series, he's the best. He's the Sheldon Cooper of that comedy series. He's the Sheldon Cooper. I could only remember Sheldon. I could not find anybody else. And one more thing I want to bring to your attention, sir. I liked his that kurta and that sherwani and all. Okay, that salwar suit and all is as per them is a Islamic dress, right? Is what Pashtuns and all that. But when he came to Dr. Jaishankar, he did namaste. You know why did he do namaste, sir? Two things. Because his great grandmother was Hindu. That Hindu DNA, that Sanatani DNA is so much in the blood. When the right time comes, it just strikes. You cannot control it. It's when you touch something hot, your hand just moves away. That Sanatani DNA, seeing Dr. Jaishankar, he did namaskar, he did like this. So, though in Pakistan, a lot of people are cursing and coaxing him and cajoling him, why did you do? Then he gave a clarification, because I am Sindhi, I had to do this. Look, in Sindh, we do this. But in the same Sindh, let me remind Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, I have met people who have come from PoK, sir, the Pakistan refugees. They said they will not let us burn our dead in Sindh, saying that because it's a badbu aati. When you burn a dead, there's a foul smell which comes out. You put itr. Itr is the perfume. You put a perfume on a dead body and burn it. Now, that is there, what happens there. They convert more than thousands of girls, Hindu girls, into Islam. They are forcibly converting them. We know what happened to the Granthi of Nankana Sahab's daughter. We know what they do to the Hindu girls. We know who's Mia Mittu. We know how does he write Conversion Factory. We know what did this Hafiz Saeed said I was doing in during the Eid, converting Hindus. This is what he did. And yesterday he's saying it is my culture, because what it is not your culture, Bilawal. It is your Hindu DNA, because your great grandmother was Hindu. You are forgetting that. Was Sanatani, you are forgetting that. And what I find ironic, you have this very unique accent, which I love, because there's a lot of comedy in it. And I remember Sheldon Cooper when he talked like that. And I remember this character called, from Three Idiots. His accent is, and yours is very, very, very same. And Chatur. You will give run of money for Chatur. Next time, sir, Raju Hirnani ji, when you are looking for a comedian, you know where to go. This comedian is cheaply available. He only wants TRP. He will not even ask you money. So you can get the comedian. His accent is wonderful. He has a career in comedy. And incidentally, he comes from the same college where this stand-up comedian Zelensky comes from. Both are from the same college. So this comedy link and all is so good. But Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, I want to ask you one question. You are wearing the salwar suit. Why you are wearing an English coat? Blazer is an English coat. You should have worn a jacket like this. Look at Dr. Jaishankar. He is wearing a trouser. He is wearing a shirt. He is wearing a jacket. Why are you half English, half Desi, half Pathan, half Sindhi, half Punjabi, half foreign minister, half comedian? What is this 50-50? And she said, and let me remind the people about Salim and Salma. What Sheikh Rashid told you. I didn't tell you anything. It's Sheikh Rashid. You have to ask Sheikh, who is Salman, who is Salima, Salima, Aage se Salman, Piche se Salima, whatever. I don't know what Sheikh Rashid told. So, when you look at the circus of a man, when you look at the sequence of events which unfolded, now, with all these events which we have narrated, sir, now can anybody say their hands are not goddamn soaked in blood? Their hands are soaked in blood. They only export terror. They are terroristan. And this man is a blatant liar, and he regards his visit as successful. If Sri sir, in your vast experience, if this is a successful visit, sir, kindly tell us what is an unsuccessful visit. If this is not bashing, what else is a bashing? If this is not getting whacked, what else is getting whacked? If this is not a diplomatic, servicing and overhaul, what the G did to you, what else do you want? Now, you want somebody to thrash you physically. Well, that is not our culture. We won't do that. But accept that physical thing. Whatever could happen to you has happened to you. Whatever mockery you could make of yourself, you are done. Whatever you talked about the short-sightedness of your foreign policy, however you humiliated your country and missed the opportunity. And last thing I want to say, you proved your loyalty to the establishment who killed your mother and who killed your grandfather, but you betrayed 250 million people of Pakistan, including your future generations, where SCO was the only platform. This was the only chance where you could have got something from your country, for your people, where you would prove your loyalty to the salt, to the earth. No, sir, you have proved loyalty to the establishment. But still, this is a possibility. Be prepared. Sir.
Thank you so much, Sumit ji. A lot of very astute observations, and people may have kind of lost the import of some of the things that you saw and explained here. I have just a couple of observations. One is this mindset of the Pakistani diplomat. Chillar Party, that's what we call in Hyderabad. Chillar Party doesn't mean it's low cost. It means the mindset is cheap. Cheap mentality is Chillar Party. That's how Hyderabadi stuff. If you want to say something, the guy is very cheap mentality. This is not the first time they come outside of Pakistan to embarrass themselves. You hold a press conference, but you keep out Indian journalists. What kind of nonsense is this? When Dr. Jaishankar had a press conference, all the Pakistani, everybody was welcome. Press conference is for press, not for one country. Which part of this don't you understand, you Nimrods? So that is one thing. In the past also, these guys have tried to do this kind of thing, thinking that we can embarrass India. What happened a few years ago when P.V. Narasimha Rao ji was the Prime Minister? I've said this in some of my episodes. I'll just be very brief. He was being honored in Singapore by the founder or the first Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew. He was then by like a senior, like a, what do you call that, Margdarshak kind of thing. And he was he was being mentored, yeah. So he was honoring him. And the High Commissioner of Pakistan puts up his hand. This has nothing to do with politics. This is essentially what Narasimha Rao had done in terms of reforms, right? I mean, he had ushered in such splendid reforms. And this was 3 or 4 years into his tenure. So that was what Singapore was appreciating, because Singapore came from the boondocks to become an industrial workforce. So this guy jokes, I mean, and he makes a fool of himself by saying that, Kashmir where people are dying and all that, tries to drag Kashmir into this whole thing. And Narasimha Rao ji gets up and he says, the particular road he calls, there is an Indian consulate there. You can write whatever you just said here and put it there. Somebody will get in touch with you. So, and Lee Kuan Yew was like, after this tirade, he says, so what is the question? Because he had no question. So the guys are absolute asses when they go outside of Pakistan, and they still think as long as they play to their gallery, maine pooch liya a question. Oh, yeah. I mean, it sounds like. Kahan ke namuna is the right word to describe them. So the second interesting thing is, I heard this. I don't know if you can confirm this, Sumit ji. The degrees in PoJK are not being recognized in Lahore and Karachi. Is that true?
Absolutely true, sir. Absolutely true.
See, that alone should be reason for PoJK to secede from Pakistan. They just say, get out, all of you. There are a lot of retired Punjabi policemen and army people. Ask them to get the heck out of there.
So, in fact, there are two things I want to add to what you said. Lee Kuan Yew used to go to various countries. I lived in Singapore for quite a while, around 8 years. Now, Lee Kuan Yew used to go to various countries, and then he used to give a presentation to his cabinet. What we have done, what Singapore has achieved, and what is the roadmap, because it looks like a very corporate. When he went to Pakistan, he only said that we are not going to Pakistan. We have nothing to do with Pakistan. Nobody from Singapore will visit Pakistan. Until date, nobody from Singapore visited Pakistan. That is on record. And when the people asked him, sir, why is it like that? Why are you so against Pakistan? He said, when I went there, what I have a problem with the guys. He said, sir, what is your problem with the guys, sir? He said, well, everybody seems to be interested in the life after death, and I have nothing to sell them and buy them there. I talk about this life, not the life after death. For them, the life begins after death. You know what I mean? 72 whores and, all the liquor and all the thing. So he says, well, for such people, let's not waste our time. That's the observation number first. And observation number second regarding PoJK, there are two things, sir. First of all, these all, I have one very blatant question to ask through your show to US lawmakers, to United Nations, to people in Pakistan. I know they will watch it somewhere down the line. All your designated terrorists, which are designated by you and which are designated by anybody or known terrorists. Now you are not able to send them to Afghanistan because Taliban has started not taking your shit. We don't want it. How come all of them are roaming freely in PoJK? And yet you say you do not know them. You don't say what they are. They are recruiting in PoJK. You say we do not know that. They are training in PoJK. You say we do not know that. Where is Neelam Valley? You don't know that. Where are the launch pads? PoJK. You don't know that. How come these terrorists are openly going in PoJK and you seem to be creating a drama? You don't know that. Well, this kind of a lie is not acceptable. How come? There's another point I want to make. Sir, the degrees of PoJK are not recognized in mainland Pakistan. The wages are not the same. Third thing, after Balochistan, the second highest maximum number of persons who are missing in Pakistan list comes from PoJK. Most of them are either killed or they get used in jihad or they are siphoned somewhere else. Their lands are taken. These Punjabis from Punjab are coming there. They are settling their ex-servicemen there. So they are changing the demography of the land so that a person like Hafiz Saeed and all this can do. And the terrorist organization I was talking about yesterday is called Jambaz Force, wherein the Shahzad Ahmad, Jambaz Force, I'm talking on record, was doing a press conference and talking about G20 and disrupting G20 in India. But don't worry, Shahzad, we have Marcos and special forces deployed besides J&K police, army and whatever we have. I can assure you one thing, if you come there, we'll send you on a one-way ticket to hell. So whoever comes there, will send you on a one-way ticket to hell. Don't be best assured, you can come there, but with a one-way ticket. Your nairs and dares one will never see you again. You challenge the might of India, we will dismantle you. There might be issues with us at times. There can be mistakes. But I can assure you, if you try to disrupt G20 in India, you are finished. Your group is finished, you are finished, and your masters are finished. Wait and watch. We are going to hit you. We are going to whack you and beat the shit out of you at the time and place of our choosing. If you think you can get away where after this ambush of our 5 brothers, you are living in a fool's paradise, you will have to pay dearly. And tell me, where is your Maulana Masood Azhar? Because after Balakot, he was never seen again. We dismantled him in Balakot. We are going to dismantle more. And this is going to happen. You wait and watch. You can win once, but we'll not let you live in peace. And if you think this guy could come and play your game, he could go and bring up Kashmir and he got some brownie points. In the arena of international diplomacy, I have not seen till date. I thought Vladimir Zelensky is number 1. Sorry, he has taken over Zelensky. Now Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is number 1. Incidentally, the university is the same. I don't blame them. It's the university which might have something to do with it. And maybe the striptease clubs and all are same. And incidentally, the way of approaching things is both comical and full of comedy. Well, as somebody told me that the 40% of Ukrainian cabinet is made of comedians. So they're good luck to them. But I'm not on my business. This is what is the reality of life. If you come here, we'll dismantle you. We will 101% dismantle you for sure. Sri sir, they will not go from G20. If they want to come to Kashmir, one-way ticket to hell. Take it in writing from me. Sir.
Thank you so much, Sumit ji. Viewers, we'll take some questions now. And the most important takeaway in all of this is, see, the incidents are now happening in Jammu area, not inside the Kashmir Valley, which means India has made it pretty much watertight. I'm just, making an observation from the ground realities. And Jammu is now where they are trying to create it. Perhaps the entry points are easier. 2 years ago, they hold up like this in these caves. Again, India didn't flush them out at that time. In fact, I don't even know if they eliminated all the people at that point of time. That time also we had some casualties. Now again, 10 people killed in 15 days. It is a bit of a concern as to why this is happening. However, the bigger picture stays the same. In fact, Pakistan is going to come to a lot more grief in a very short amount of time. I will give you a recording, I'm going to record something with somebody who is a very keen China watcher. Look at how fast China's fortunes are dwindling now. You will know the reality. But that will come in the next couple of days, so stay tuned on that. Now let's take a quick set of questions for Sumit ji. Let's go ahead. Oh yeah, please go ahead, Sumit ji. Before we take
one
the
question.
questions.
I want to say one question. On your show, Sri sir, I had predicted that when you have lithium found in Jammu, it's the same region, sir. The estimated value of lithium, which I calculated, is $420 billion. That day, I had predicted this area around Jammu will get heated up. This will see a lot of activity here because people don't want us to get the white gold. When people don't want us to get this white gold, because lithium means EV. EV means refining. Refining means Tesla and many more. And our manufacturers are doing a fantastic job. So, and there are 18 sites where the excavation is going on, and there's quite a bit of possibility we will find lithium somewhere else. We have found 18,000 tons of uranium in Sikar district of Rajasthan recently. And now in the Indian Ocean region, we are exploring more. So with all these things happening, we should not see these things in isolation. Why suddenly Jammu region has started heating up? Why these new terrorist organizations are formed? Why open challenges are given to us? Bilawal challenged us about G20. We will reply at the appropriate time. What does he mean by replying at the appropriate time? If something happens during our G20 in J&K, then sir, we have to join the dots, and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is responsible. Then I would designate him as a terrorist, not as a spokesperson for Terroristan, Pakistan. Then he knows the plans. Obviously, then he knows the plans. You announce I am coming 6 hours, there's an attack. You are here, there is one more ambush happens. And now you are talking to, we will reply at the appropriate time. And if something happens in G20, when you were here, one of the terrorists, Shahzad Ahmad's Jamba's force, this is talking about G20, and you are telling here, how is this synchrony happening, Sri sir? How are these things synchronous? And we have $420 billion of, lithium, this lithium discovered there, and 18 more excavations are going. There's a possibility we might discover more lithium. There's a very high probability. And suddenly that area has started heating up. The law and order in that area has started becoming a challenge. Now your RSI is the henchman who acts on the wills of their master who overpaid them. And you see how the establishment of Pakistan, politician of Pakistan, terrorist of Pakistan, and military of Pakistan, in a close tandem and synchrony they are working. Even the timing is matching, even the statements are matching, even the actions and repercussions are matching, sir. Here everything is matching. You have one state actor here and we have one non-state actor who's acting there. So what is the difference between a state actor and a non-state actor? There's no difference. Can't the world see it? Can't the United States of America see it? Can't the United Nations see it? Can't the European Union see it? How do you see this clock-like synchrony happening? How the heck does it happen? Give me one more instance in the world where this has happened. It has happened nowhere. Why does it always happen with Pakistan? And remember, I want to make everybody, remind them. What did Musharraf say when September 11 happened? He said, whenever there's any terrorist attack in the world, it is unfortunate, somehow or the other, you can join the links to Pakistan or a Pakistani, or there's a Pakistan element there. Even in the movies of Hollywood, all these terrorists now are shown Pakistani. Even in the European movies, the terrorists are shown Pakistani. Hollywood, Malaysian movies, a lot of movies, now the terrorists are, even in Central Asian Republicans, the terrorists are showing Pakistanis. Now, is this a coincidence? How long can we keep on becoming a hostage? That is the question I want to ask. We can choose to close our eyes. We will deal with the terrorists. India will deal. But how long the world will keep on closing the eyes? And these snakes are going to even come and bite you. He was warning yesterday that terrorism in Afghanistan might be our problem, but it will not be always our problem. What does he mean by that? Is he giving a threat that, if my demands are not met, if you don't walk to my whims and fancies, I'll start exporting terror even from Afghanistan? I mean, how come he controls the terrorists of Afghanistan? What is Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's handle on terrorists of Afghanistan? Or they are all linked. So that means he has control there. They are all linked. So that is, they are financing them, they are helping them, they are grooming them. Pakistan army is doing that. And I want to ask Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, your army chief announced that we'll have a direct action against Taliban. What happened, sir? 15 days went by. What are you're getting your mules, you're putting the saddles on the mules to ride to Afghanistan. What are you doing? Why there is no action? I had predicted you will do no action against them because you are hand in glove with them. You are helping them. This is all a farce which you are telling to the world, and the world must see through this. India will deal with it, but when these people have the international connection and with the ISI, they can reach any country. This is a threat that the world has to recognize, the threat of Pakistan, because ISI can do the dirty job. So last time we talked about the red jihad. So here I want to say just one line. ISI is the henchman of the world. If they get money from anywhere, any country, any republic can be in their hitting range. That is what is the new reality of the world. And we as the global community have to recognize that. The apathy of the SCOs, terrorism perpetrators and terrorism sufferers, have to be in the same room, have to share the same dais, and have to try to find solutions for the humanity. That is the unfortunate times, and that is the unfortunate situation we live in. But yet, amidst that, we try to solve something for the humanity. That is what India has tried, and that is what India will keep on trying and keep on doing, amidst being bled and amidst losing our people, amidst being the terrorist activity happening on our soil. But people should recognize what is the commitment of India to the world community and how India is really a sufferer of terrorism and yet doing its best to counter the terrorism. Nobody will be in our position and do the same thing. But when it came to respect of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari as a fellow member of a SCO, country, we did all that. We gave him all the protocol. We gave him all the respect. Dr. Jaishankar welcomed him. Amidst having 1,000 scars on our body, but when it comes to international organization, international forum, India is a responsible country. We come up to the occasion. We respect the stage. We respect the occasion. We respect the situation. I want everybody kindly to take a note of this and appreciate our gesture, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumit ji. One other little bit of information for viewers. Russia turned away dealing with Indian rupees for its crude. To understand a little bit more on that, stay tuned. I will announce to you most likely Sunday live in the evening around this time, like 24 hours from now. We may have a show with Elmar, which will be a live show, and you will know a lot more about what is happening inside China. Really bad news for Pakistan because China itself is about to crumble. What choice does, Pakistan has no chance. Anyway, this is just 2 cents. I'm giving you a hint of what are the things that are going wrong inside China. Now, more importantly, tomorrow at, sorry, you were saying something?
No, carry on.
Sorry. So tomorrow at 10:30 p.m., we are going to have Rajiv Malhotra ji talk about this coronation of Charles and what it really means, the kind of hypocrisy that Britain has been employing. This is actually a slap on the current government also, because anyway, it'll be a very interesting conversation. Do join us for that. We also have at 9:30 p.m. today a roundup with Shekhar Iyer. So we have a fair amount of stuff coming your way in the next few hours. Let's take some questions now, Sumit ji.
Sure, sir.
Blue Wolf wants to know, what is your take on Punjab Police arrest of Times Now journalist?
Namaskar ji. What I say, this is not something which should have happened. I would appeal to Bhagwant Mann ji and the DGP Punjab Police that the journalists should be released because, journalists do their work. I mean, they have to do exposures, they have to do stories, they have to do things. It is the people who decide. Is it right? Is it wrong? And it is the votes ultimately which matter. But we have seen some unfortunate incidents happening to some renowned journalists in the country, which is highly condemnable. And we would request that the journalists should be released immediately. If you have anything, the court of the law will decide. But this way is not appreciated. This doesn't look good. This looks that you have something really to hide and cover up for.
Next question, please. Raghunandan wants to know, sir, biggest terrorist attack will happen in Kashmir during G20 meet. This is messaging he is giving in his press conference. Your view on it?
Raghunandanji, namaskaram. I touched that because that is where I got, my heart was fuming. You are coming on our soil and you are threatening us that hum jawab denge in Hindi. That means that we'll reply at the appropriate time. How do you know? What the heck is G20 got to do with you? That is not your business. That is not for beggars. G20 is a forum for developing and powerful economies of the world. Beggars are not allowed. So what is your business there? What is your business in Kashmir? And what the heck you got to do with G20? 370 and 35A was a provision of our constitution, which was temporary in nature. It is our wish. When do we want to revoke this? It's none of your business. There is nothing international. There is no UN resolution or anything about 35 and 370. So what are you mixing things, Mr. Zardari and Raghunandanji? What is important is when this was happening here, at that point of time, this Jambaz force and Shahzad Ahmad, who is an ex-Pakistan army veteran with a medal, some Tamgaya Jurrat or something. Tamgaya Jurrat or something. Jurrat means courage. Now, he was in Kargil war. How come he is doing an open press conference and saying we will disrupt G20? See, the foreign minister is talking here and the terrorist who is a veteran, ex-Pakistan army is doing a press conference, sir. It's not a press release. It's a live press conference happening in PoJK. This is what is baffling. That's why I replied him. We have Marcos replied there. We have PRISF. We have RR, J&K police and army. If you come there, we'll send you on a one-way ticket to hell. Don't worry. We are all prepared. और हिंदी में बोलता हूँ तुम्हारे बाप की औकात नहीं है G20 रोकना तुम्हारे मतलब I don't want to cross this line because I'll then cross the sanctity. I'll lose sanctity of the platform. But my heart really fumes. You can't goddamn threaten us. You lost 4 wars. Your army got whacked 4 times. Still you sting on our soil, eating our food, drinking our water, and you have the courage to threaten us that will handle your G20. If you are not buffoons, send your army. We will send them to graveyard. Send your army, we'll send them to graveyard. Don't do this, Sardari. Don't do this.
Kesar wants to know, is a soothsayer, jo bol diya, wo hona hi hai. Mahakal has a blessing on him. Yeah, I don't know what the question there is. It's just an observation and a compliment to you, Sumitji.
Thank you.
Malaysia wants to know, why isn't there less coverage on the SCO and more on Mr. Bhutto?
Malayji, namaskar. Sir, the issue here is that SCO has an agenda. The only disruptor, that's why I took last 4 or 5 minutes to explain how difficult it is for India to call Zardari here, how difficult it is for Dr. Jaishankar to greet him, how difficult admits knowing I have lost 5 of my brothers in the morning. We are still doing all the niceties. We are all doing all the press conference. It is not easy, sir, for any other country. Our blood boils. We know who killed these 5 men. Those are 5 brothers. We know who killed them. We know. We have the press release where these terrorists are claiming we did it. We did the ambush. We know we did it. Still, we kind of did it because we respect international forums and bodies as a responsible power of the world. We want the world to know it and appreciate it. But this Zardari was the only buffoon. Look, I'll be very candid here. We have hostilities with China. We did a bilateral with China. We did a bilateral with Russia. But did you see these kind of drama and these kind of jingbangs and this kind of comical action by the Chinese? No, they don't do it. These are only these illiterate madrasa pass jihadis who do it. That is what the madrasa education does. Even the problem with Pakistan is what I was talking in an earlier show. They have radicalized books. Now, this is a English educated, Clifton living, Oxford, or I think he went to Oxford. I think Oxford graduated, young, rich, dynamic, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, foreign minister of Pakistan. This is the new generation of Pakistan, Malai sir, which you are dealing with. When I say the whole goddamn country is radicalized and the jihad is prevailing in their ways, this is the answer. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari is a test case. Look him as a test case. Don't look him as an isolation. If this can happen to a London educated, English educated, rich brat, forget the person on the road. What the heck are we dealing with? God only knows.
Also, they should realize that a lot of people who are employed in Middle East are actually being turned away. Now, Pakistani citizens are no longer welcome in places like Saudi Arabia, for example. I mean, this is a huge problem. Even their middle class is going to feel the wrath of the world on them. They are like, don't even come here. That sort of attitude is what is coming up more and more. So it's a huge concern. I mean, instead of being responsible, this guy has made an ass of himself. Very, very sad. Anyway, next question, please.
One small observation, sir. We can take as many questions. I'm not a problem. One problem here. Now, the problem with Pakistan is, Malaiji, what I want to highlight is, I might be a very nice gentleman. Example, I'm a Pakistani. God save me. Toba, toba. Not, never on this earth. Now, how do you know who is my brother? How do you know who is my brother-in-law? How do you know who is my other brother-in-law? How do you know who is my father? Now, DG ISPR, 4-star, 3-star general. I think he's a 3-star general. His father is a nuclear scientist, yet a designated terrorist of United Nations and a sanctioned terrorist with direct links with Al-Qaeda. This is what we are dealing with. So if you employ a Pakistani, God only knows where his connections are. Who is his brother? Who is his brother-in-law? Who is the father? Who is the mother? Who is the Jija? Who is the Sala? How do you know? That is the biggest challenge which the world has to realize today. And even in people in Middle East are shit scared. They don't know what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Next question, please. Sumit ji, is there any strategy from the government for Northeast regions, as there are lots of problems for missionaries and jihadis? Maybe a next Kashmir?
Namaskar, sir.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie ji. What is happening here is, I was on a couple of debates. In Northeast, I'll just take a minute to explain this situation. This Maithi community was given a status by the High Court of Manipur. Right? It is not by BJP, it is not by Biren Singh, it has nothing to do with that. Incidentally, 1,000 people protest turned to so violence that we lost 54 lives. We had to heli-lift, we had to send a Hercules there, a C-130 Glowmaster, with 5 to 10 battalions of Rapid Action Force. A lot of things had to be done. 52 or 54 lives are lost. So that day I predicted this is orchestrated violence because in Northeast, whom has BJP replaced? BJP has replaced Reds. And that is exactly what Red Jihad is. Reds pay the money, which comes from China. Mainly it comes from China. And these jihadis networks of ISI and all, they put the fumes. The Rohingyas, there's a lot of, there's no man areas, no man lands there where Rohingyas have settled in the jungles. So there's a lot of land where the drug cartels are working. The golden triangle is where the state is. We share a border with Raksena province. And who is in Raksena province? Arakan's army. Who arms Arakan's army? Arakan's army is armed by China. 99.9% armed by China. 10,000 strong militia, armed to tooth and nail with utmost weapons. And remember last time when the Myanmar special forces tried to take them out, they killed the commander and uploaded the video. That area is literally controlled by that. So what you see in Northeast is that there are a lot of external forces who are at work. A simple thing where Nagas, Maithis and Manipuris, so many tribes have been living together in harmony. How did such a small incident, which is a judgment by the Honorable High Court of Manipur, could set the whole state in fire? We have seen this. Last time there was a conflict between Manipur and Assam policemen, and what happened? Then the Hemant Biswa Sarma ordered these no man's land to be cleared. Who was living in those no man lands? There are these Rohingyas, there are drug cartels, there are missionaries, and there are these communists who have been replaced by BJP. Tripura, whom did the BJP replace? And why is BJP winning in a Christian-dominated Northeast? A lot of people are not happy with it, sir. And these all things are orchestrated. Now, not only now we have this wrestler problem going on in Delhi. We have Northeast going on here. And then we had this G20 which is coming up. We had this SCO which we have been discussing SCO. So there are a lot of things which are being happening simultaneously at four corners of India. I won't be surprised something might happen in the southern India as well. It's a matter of time. We are just waiting and watching for it to pan out.
Next question, please. Bharani Chandar wants to know, aren't the Paks overplaying their hand? We are powerful than them, but we can't find a decisive victory over them yet. So is India and Pakistan going to be in an endless war with India losing a few people now and then?
Bani Chandarji, it is unfortunate. We are in a very difficult situation because Pak is nuclear armed, and there are people in the world who want Pakistan to live. There are intelligence agencies in the world who want Pakistan to live because Pakistan can be any day used as a leverage against India, a little bit against China, and a little bit against Iran. So as long as Pakistan has that geographical advantage, Pakistan will continue to live. The problem is it's nuclear armed. The society is radicalized, so the society is highly weaponized, and now with a lot of forces working around. See the people who are touring in the neighboring countries of India. I don't have to take the names. There are people who are touring the neighboring countries of India, and suddenly we have problems happening in Northeast. If you join the dots, nothing is coincidental. Everything is linked. Everything seems to be planned. So again, they are trying to have civil unrest and internal disturbances in as many parts of India, in as many places in India. We have to tread carefully and handle them one by one. Wrong moves at this point of time can end the growth story of India, can end the stability of India, and can end the great story of India, which we are going to witness by 2030. So these are areas of caution. And let me give you two figures, sir. We did a GST of collection of 1.87 lakh crores. GST collection of 2.50 lakh crores will have no fiscal deficit. And when we cross 5 trillion, there is no looking back. Nobody can stop us. But by that time, we have to tread carefully. We are walking through a minefield. When you're walking through a minefield, precision is what works, not the bravery.
True. Bharani, one second. Let's put back the question. I just want to add one little thing. See, you probably weren't born then, Bharani, but I have lived through this. The 1971 war, even though it was just 16 days on India, imposed a huge economic burden on India. India had so much to pay. For example, anything you bought, there was a 5 paisa overhead. It was called Bangladesh Relief Fund. God only knows where that money went. But on every item from 71 March or April, if I remember correctly, till I think for 2-3 years, we were paying 5 paisa extra on anything and everything. And still, India couldn't come out of that mess. In 1973, when the OPEC was formed and the prices of petrol just jumped, India was totally caught unprepared. Why I'm saying all this is, even a limited war will wreak havoc on Indian economy. It's not so easy when we say, why don't we go and do this thing? Why don't we go and do that? Because our history tells us that it has not been so easy for any country to recover from war. Look at what US is doing. They're just printing money. Because towards the end of their occupation of Afghanistan, the United States taxpayer was paying the salaries of every soldier in the Afghan army and every government official in Afghan government. And people started asking $60 billion a month for what? That is why they left just like that. They said, chodo sab. So that was what happened. An internal story I'm telling you. So what it is war is very, very expensive. You have to think about it 2 times, 10 times before you go in. And that's why these things will continue. However, economically, every day, China and Pakistan are weakening, and so is Russia. You will start seeing some more things in Russia also. So you're going to say something, sir. Go ahead.
No, I was endorsing you, sir. You're absolutely right. And the point here is, we don't have one neighbor, sir. We have 2 neighbors, and both are hostile.
And you can't change them.
And we can't. And geopolitical games. You see what happened in Northeast from a small incident. And these geopolitical games are being played every day with us. So we have to tread very carefully. It's not a question of showing how, kitne bahadur hum hai, how courageous we are. It is the question of precision. We can't compromise the India story. 1, 2, couple of wrong steps and the India story is over, sir. And that will be a betrayal to 1.4 billion people. We cannot do that. We have to, it's unfortunate. At times we are helpless. At times, hamare haath bande, our hands are tired, but with every passing day, we're getting stronger, and we will surpass.
Also remember that the exchange rate around 70s, early 70s was 7 or 8 rupees to a dollar. 7 or 8 rupees to a dollar. Today it is 81 rupees to a dollar. See how you are forced to go down a certain path. 7 rupees to a dollar. Can you believe that? I came to United States as a student. It was 13 rupees to a dollar in 1985. Already people are complaining it has, diluted by 100%. It's just 13 rupees to a dollar. Today, 81 rupees. See, why this is important is it's so cheap to create trouble in India. Dollar फेंको वहां पर रुपयों में हजारों बन जाते हैं. Understand, there are lots of small things that, once little 16-day war cost us so much. So let's go to the next question. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskar ji, Pakistan hasn't won a single war. Where did their general earn all those medals they wear? Good question.
Ranga sir, Namaskar. Sir, I have a small story on this. What happened is these Pakistani generals were so shy that they would not look into the mirror. What did they do? They took a plane. They have this 98 old made plane, and there's one more they have is 2004 where the Prime Minister travels. So they took these planes, they went to China. In China, they went to a factory. In the factory, they ordered, we want one container of medals. Green color, yellow color, pink color, yellow color, and they put it in the Rawalpindi canteen. So whenever they go to eat biryani, next time they go to a showcase and pick one and go to a mirror. How does this look on me? Put one. How does this look on me? Put one. That's why you see Pakistani generals have these many medals. They're the only generals in the world whose the weight of medals is more than the weight of the uniform, because they're all made in China. They got a full container. They are for free. They are in the Rawalpindi canteen. Canteen means where they eat food, sir, where they have biryani and all. So they pick up a medal, use it, and after 2 days they change it. They have a yellow one, they use a green one, they use a pink one. So as long as the wife doesn't say, "Aaj ji bahut sundar lag rahe ho," to see. As long as the wife says you're looking very smart, they keep on changing the medals. So there's no depth of medals. You hit it, Ranga sir, you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. I've been making a lot of fun of them. I say, you lost all the wars you won. Where did you get all the medals? For doing what? You ordered them from China. And China, what did China do? Okay, they are cheap. Be happy. Where are the medals? We'll send one more container if you need. They got one full container, sir. Made in China. Even the medals are made in China.
Next question, please. Bennett's son wants to know, sir, is it times we openly and heavily support separatists in Pakistan now? How do you know India is not?
So what I would say is that whatever our strategic things are, look, we are not jihadis. We are not those amateurs. Whatever we have to do in our national interest, wherever we have to do, whomever we have to settle, we'll settle. Today, I came to know there was this one Sardar guy, some head of Khalistan Commando Force. Some unidentified people in Lahore, I believe, gunned him down. And it is all issue of Lord Mahakal, because he is the controller of birth and death. We don't know who did it, when did it. But our enemies, by the grace of Lord Mahakal and Mahakali, are evaporating in broad daylight. So my answer would be, sir, whatever happens in the national interest will be done at the right point of time. Well, options can be any to many. I will not say. Neither can I confirm nor can I deny.
Next question, please. We'll make this the last question. Oh, actually, we are done.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are done. He's searching through. Guys, it will really help us if you use the exact string that we tell you about. Like for this case, it was hashtag ask SUMIT, just one word. And here, now, that's the right way. Steel Plant Babai wants to know, what is this fascination of Indian media with Billo Rani and Pakistan? Why did Rajdeep have to interview this guy out of all other important SCO members?
You see, the issue here is, Namaskar sir, the issue here is that Billo Rani was a very famous song in Bollywood, and it was a super hit. Now suddenly Bilawal's one video was viral where he had these fatal dance moves, Latka Jatka, what we call in Hindi. So suddenly the Billo Rani name got entitled to him. We gifted him the name, we granted him the name. Now, as far as Mr. Rajdeep interviewing the guy, it is a democratic country. It is his choice. He is looking for his TRP. And, when usually people overpower Rajdeep. But for a change, Rajdeep had to find an amateur to overpower. That is why so that way, Bilawal was a safe choice. No, that is what is the only logic I could get. There was one more journalist in our country who interviewed one more guy who is currently in the race of becoming a prime minister, and that interview went very viral. And interview had something called empowerment of women. So at times we journalists look for the people whom to interview, whom not to interview.
Yes, true. Let's make the next one the last question, and then we can wrap up. Oh, that's it. Thank you so much, Sumit ji. And viewers will be back again next Thursday with Sumit ji on a new topic. Please help us. Please encourage Sumit ji to come up to his absolute best. He's already reaching great highs already, but we would like him to do even more you can do that very easily. Just like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and click on the bell button. And also, we are going to put our Twitter handles. His is Sumit P 191, mine is Sri Iyer 1, and the channel is PGurus 1. Do remember to follow us on Twitter, because we share a lot of news. We are putting in a lot of news on our pgurus.com website also. So there is a bunch of news coming, guys. I'm not making it up. 10 stories every day. The videos are just 1 or 2 in a day, but this gives you a complete 360-degree view of what is happening around the world and the country. Namaskar.
Namaskar and sadhuva to all.